healthy, an unhealthy, or a detachment from an excessive love for pleasure. What does it mean to die to self? To embrace a life of modesty, even in the presence of abundance and plenty. To embrace a life of modesty. And it's up to you to define what that means to you. But I can tell you by experience that the best way to live the effective Christian life is to be modest, enjoy whatever blessing God gives you, but put a cap on it. There is a level of excessivism as far as material things are concerned, that if you are not careful, it will not give you the liberty. It will corrupt the purity of your followership. You don't have to live in poverty and live a miserable life to prove that you love Jesus. I'm not for that. But there is a level of decent living. Generally speaking, I advise people who are under my care, minimize an excessive lifestyle. Are we together? Over showing off. There are necessary needs, and there are things you should enjoy your life. Don't feel guilty for being successful, but a life of modesty has been proven from Bible and through modern history as the best template for being a true disciple. You can be a billionaire and enjoy your billions and still within your realm live a modest life. Are we together? Death to self. Many people don't like this part of the teaching in church. Believers must be taught death to self. Once a man dies to self, you can't bribe such a man again. Once the man dies to self, there are certain appetites that die and go forever. Number 3, what is the third fruit of discipleship? Placing priority on Jesus as the most important relationship in your life. The third fruit of a true disciple of Jesus. Placing priority on Jesus as the most important relationship in your life. Greater than friends, greater than family, greater than spouses, greater than children. I'm not saying to ignore them, but nothing should come close to your relationship. If your wife tampers with your relationship with Jesus, she has become your idol. If your husband or your children or your job, no relationship on earth should sustain the power to tamper with your love for Jesus. Now, if you are not responsible to other relationships and you claim it's because you are loving Jesus, you are a liar. Because the Bible says, how can you love God that you have not seen? So I'm not giving a license. There are many people who have allowed their children cry. Their children cry in hunger and they claim that it's church. But I can tell you this, a true disciple of Jesus is one who knows. And when you get married or when you are married, your wife will know, your husband will know. As your children come, you will teach them, I love you with all my heart. I can give my life for you. But my precious children, learn this. When it has to do with me and Jesus, he was there before you came. My wife, I love you. My husband, I love you. My parents, I love you. Siblings, relatives. But nothing should stand your way with Jesus. This is how the patriarchs showed us the way of the cross. Not just death to self. I tell you the reason why it's very easy for people to give up on the things of Jesus. He was never a priority. He was part of the many things in their life. When God began with us, it was not about money. It was not about fame. It was about loving Jesus. It's the reason why you see me, I till today as a person. Now you don't have to do it. When people start to celebrate and over-celebrate me, it affects me. I can shout on the pulpit, but till today, I'm still a bad receiver. I'm still learning. Because I feel that I should hide behind the cross. And all I want is for Jesus to be seen. That's it. You are not a true disciple of Jesus. Church of God in Nigeria, Church of God in Africa. These are the things that produce power. These are the things that shape society. A man who prioritizes Jesus will prioritize the values of Jesus. And whether you become a politician, whether you become whoever, you will live by that code. Let me give it to you quickly. Let's finish up. So number one, the fruit of the Spirit, especially walking in love. Number two, death to self, a detachment from excessive pleasure, a life of greatness and glory, but with modesty, even in the presence of plenty and abundance. Number three, placing priority on Jesus as your most important relationship. Greater, but not to ignore friends, family, spouses, children, and every other human relationship. Number four, what is the fourth fruit of a true disciple of Jesus? Freedom from mammon. Freedom from mammon. What does that mean? The ungodly, unhealthy attachment to money and other material things, but particularly money. Oh, you cannot be a true disciple of Jesus if you are still attached to mammon. That does not stop you from being a billionaire. That does not stop you from running conglomerates. You can be the wealthiest man on earth if possible and still not be attached to mammon. And the proof that you are not attached is that you can let it go. Anything you cannot let go is your God. Anything. You're my treasure, my priority. Who can compare to you? Great is the measure of your royalty, O morning star, you truly are. Let me tell you the truth. One of the reasons why God instructs people to give many times is because occasionally he prunes you to kill your detachment to mammon. So every once in a while he will give you a heavy instruction to part with something that is valuable, and you'll be like, no, Kai, this is not. And God will say, this is what I wanted to show you, how much it has become an idol. And you say, God, you mean you now waited until they gave me arrears of 8 years? You would have told me to pay it last month. I had only 20,000 in my account. I would have obeyed with one instruction. You now waited until my uncle I've not seen for 10 years gave me $10,000. You must be a wicked God. And God says, no. Let me tell you something that happened not too long. We're about to pray. Was it a guy or a lady? I can't recall now, but somebody came with a seed. And when I saw the person holding an envelope, and God spoke to my heart that if this person hands over this seed, I should add to it and give the person. That the person truly was making a sacrifice, but it was a test. It was a crucifixion of the appetite for mammon. I think it was a lady. She stands before me and you could see that releasing, this is Isaac. And she said, Apostle, God instructed me. And I looked at her with a smile. It's a lady. And I told her, I said, you know what? I receive it. May God bless you. And I did what God asked me to do. I mean, the lady was almost broken. Why is this? So I said, no, you have given me your own seed, but God said I should bless you. Take. If you have walked with God for up to 5 years and he has never demanded a sacrifice from you, there's something wrong with your walk. I'm telling you, the God I know, keep waiting. One day he will come to you early in the morning. He will come after your retreat when your hearing is clear, so that you don't doubt and say it's some kind of antichrist spirit. He won't come when the flesh has deadened your hearing. I mean, after your consecration, you've rolled before God. Your heavens are open and you say, my son, that shoe or that shirt, or maybe money in monetary terms, your salary for the next 3 months. And you say, God, you are joking. You are joking. You don't know what is going on in Nigeria and Africa. And God says, no, I am teaching you that a man's life does not constitute in the abundance of what he has. Something happens to you when you let go things that are valuable. A string is caught. The day that string is caught, God will now say, now open your hands. let me give you. When it rests upon you, no matter how heavy, you will find out that it cannot get here again.